Praise God. Praise God. I don't think we value these hymns like we should, but these are really powerful hymns. And I know that some of the guys have done some stuff with them, the lyrics, which is really nice. And I wish more people would do more stuff so that these kids could enjoy them. Because the words, the lyrics are powerful. They're just powerful. Anyways, we're back this afternoon, and we're going to have our active threat training, Keeping Your House of Worship Safe, by Brother Ken Scott Sr. Did not our hearts burn within us today as he shared his testimony, his word, the word of God? I know I was thoroughly inspired. And then this afternoon, for our safety officer and rest of the guys, the discussion was beautiful. And this evening, I'm looking forward to the discussion, because we don't know when it could be us, and it's just really important that we have some level of awareness, so that, God forbid, we should be on a list somewhere, we would at least be able to save some lives. Who says amen? Sister Minton, could I invite you to pray for us? And then we're going to ask Brother Scott to take over. Oh, you want to stay there? That's fine. Yes. Yes. Amen. Brother Scott, welcome and thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Pastor. How y'all doing? Long day, huh? A little bit, huh? Yeah. Move this on out the way. No, you're good, you're good. So I always start these presentations by, do I need this? If I'm country, okay, I'm about to say, I can get loud. Gotcha, for the recording, okay, gotcha. I always start giving my testimony, no matter where I give my presentation, whether it's in a secular or whether it's in a Christian setting. So I want to take you back a little bit to the year 1965. Were you born in 1965? No? Okay, just checking.
I was just 5 years old. I'm 65.
Gotcha. A little town called Leesburg, Georgia. I guess it must have been hot back in the summertime, because in March of that year, a little mixed-race child was born. My father was a married white man. My mother was a black lady who had already had, I was number 8 of 10. So I guess there wasn't a lot to do back then. What we doing tonight? Same thing we did last night, right? Well, for the first year of my life, they hid me because my mother was scared that the white people would kill me. Also, I think there's probably a bit of shame there for whatever reason. But hey, things happen, and here I am. Well, I couldn't stay hidden for the rest of my life, so I'll wait till these other folk come in. How y'all doing? Y'all stopped by the train too? Gotcha. So, couldn't stay hidden for the first year of my life. So, how many people know that God always has a ram in the thicket? So, I had an aunt and uncle who lived in Chicago. They were Seventh-day Adventists. So, my aunt came down and she said, "You can't raise this boy." I'll wait till these folks get settled here. You know, my ADHD be kicking in. So my aunt came and said, "You cannot raise this child like this. Give him to us and we'll raise him." So my mother, can you imagine a mother in 1965 getting on a bus in Leesburg, Georgia, with a oh so cute little baby boy. Come on now, come on. On a bus, taking to Chicago and giving him to her sister to raise. I imagine that the ride up there was tough, but I really would imagine that the ride back was probably a whole lot worse. Well, I was raised in Chicago. And I was blessed. I was raised in the parsonage, big 6-bedroom house. I went to private school, went to private college. Out of all of my siblings, I have 6 that still live in Leesburg, Georgia, and then I have some that others that are spread out through the southeastern part of the United States. But I have to say, sometimes I ask the question, why me? Why me? And sometimes the question for me, when I look at the rest of my siblings and what they're doing, a lot of them are still somewhat at the poverty level a little bit, but they have not progressed. So sometimes, you got to take out the why me, and you just have to say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. As I said earlier today, I've been blessed to serve in positions where each one position I've had has required either more education or more experience. But God has seen fit to put me in these spaces. So let's fast forward. I never knew who my father was. Someone told me a name, but it was never confirmed. So I would go back to Leesburg, Georgia. I was a Marine Corps at the time, and I had a BMW, a 318i. Y'all remember those? I had a 318i BMW. And they told me who my brother was, a white man. He was working on the field and on a backhoe. I drove my 318i BMW out in the field. And I got out and I went to him. And I said, hey, I understand that we got the same father. So he kind of looked at me. Yeah. All right, he's about my size, but he just kind of looked at me. Now, I was a Marine Corps at the time. So what we going to do? Ain't nothing between us, air and opportunity. Let's do this, all right? And they go to air, exactly. But he didn't come off crazy. He said, I've heard about you. I said, well, here I am. And I told him, I don't need anything from you. But so anyway, fast forward. Never confirmed who my father was. Last November 15th, my blood pressure was high. So the doctor said, we can give you an angiogram or we can give you some more medicine. I said, man, I'm tired of taking medicine. Give me an angiogram. He said, okay, it's take about 30 minutes for the angiogram. I don't know if anyone else has had one. Went in. I guess 30 minutes must have passed. When I woke up in the recovery, the doctor came in and he looked at me. He said, for real? Really? 2.5 hours later, I had 3 stents. 2 of them were 100% blockage. One was 98% blockage, and one was 97%. They put a balloon in that one. At that point, I said, man, I need to know who my daddy is. A friend of mine said, you need to find out who your people are to find out what the history is. Did that little Ancestry.com. Anybody else done that? Did Ancestry.com. Well, I always knew the last name was Kirby. The first name that popped up was Kirby. So I solidified who my father was. Got in touch with my brother's daughter. I didn't know how they were going to come off. So I was scared to call, but my friend called. And in calling, said, hey, he doesn't want anything from you. He's very successful, doing what he does. He doesn't want anything, but he understands that y'all are related. Didn't know how they were going to come off. So then I made the call. And comes to find out, I had a brother who died at 27 from the same thing I had. My father, biological father, died from the same thing in his 70s. So God had a plan for me to be here today. That's why earlier when I was talking about testimony, I was like, that testimony in the morning, that wasn't nothing. My testimony is, and they told me what I had, it's like a walking dead man. You just be walking and just boom, there you go, speak to Jesus, bye-bye, time to go. So that's my testimony, that I am here, and you're looking at a walking miracle, 100%. Because if I had never had an angiogram, I would have never known. Didn't have any symptoms, no shortness of breath. I go to the gym almost every day, and the doctor told me the only reason that you did not drop is because you go to the gym all the time, and your heart had enough force to keep you going. I don't know about y'all. That's my testimony, all right? Y'all, that's my testimony. And I feel good about it. Every day that I'm above earth, to me, is a testimony. I don't know what the future holds. I'm trying to hold it together like old people. I'm trying to hold in the road, all right? I'll be 60 in a couple of months, and I think for 60, I'm doing all right, okay? So it's just God's plan for me. And I give that testimony everywhere I go because I think people need to know your background, you know who you're talking to, and where I'm coming from. Does that make sense to y'all? All right, let's go to work, folks. Oh. Yeah. I guess I got to be smarter than that. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. All right, there we go. There we go. Active threat, keeping your house of worship safe. That is my home church that I grew up in Chicago, and that church is actually huge. It holds about 2,000 people, and I used to vacuum that entire church. My daddy was a janitor, so I used to vacuum that entire church. That's why I put it up there. Y'all know about my background. They talked about it this morning. I think everybody here was in church this morning. We need to recap that mess. Here is a video. I don't know if you might have to play it from the back. Yeah, if you just hit the play button and give me a little volume on it. You're working on it. I think if you just click on it, the video should pop up. No? Okay, all right. We'll keep going. Let's talk about that was a video that just gave a recap of what we're going to talk about here today. If you get it going, just let me know. Common terms: active shooter, mass shooting, active shooter incidents. We're going to talk about mass shootings over the years, okay? Active shooter, as defined by the federal government, an active shooter is an individual actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a confined and populated area, typically through the use of firearms, typically. What's a mass shooting? Mass shooting is the Gun Violence Archive, a nonprofit research group, defines a mass shooting as an incident in which 4 or more people are shot or killed, not including the shooter. If I told you last year that there were 200 shootings, mass shootings in the United States, would that shock you? If I told you there were 300, if I told you 400, you close. There were over 700 in the United States. What's that noise? What's beating? What's that beating noise? Oh, okay. Can you tell them to stop beating there for me? Thank you. That's a lot. That's a lot. With that, I believe there were close to 1,100 people that were killed and over 2,200 people that were injured. Think about that. That's somebody who's just going about their day, shopping center, concert at a right outside of a hotel. Y'all remember that in Las Vegas? Remember the shooting in the it wasn't a Walmart, but it was a shopping. Somebody just going to grocery. You imagine you just going to grocery shopping, and here come this idiot, come start shooting. It's a mass shooting. Let's talk about some active shooter incidents. Ames, Iowa. A man kills 2 women and himself in a church parking lot. So this man goes there. He had a issue with his old lady. His spouse, wife, whatever you want to call him. All right. Southside Chicago, his old lady. All right. So he goes and he decides that he's going to kill the 2 women, then himself. In what parking lot was that? Church, just checking. Racine, Wisconsin. A man shoots and wounds 2 people at a cemetery. Cemetery is normally not where shootings happen. Now, a cemetery, people do go to the cemetery talking about they want to be with mama, and then they go ahead and do that thing. They lay there and do that, all right? But that's not what happened. He shoots and wounds 2 people at a cemetery. He goes there, and he's upset at his what? Old lady. His young lady. Orange County, California. Man enters church and shoots 6 parishioners, killing 1. This man drove from Las Vegas to California. He goes into church. We got some going on over there, don't we? We goes into church, and he just starts shooting. We talk about selfless service. The security people, selfless service. A doctor who was there, probably used to, oh, they got it going? Okay, hold on for just 1 second. A doctor who's used to probably helping people grabs the man shoots and kills him. But in the meantime, other people were able to grab him and tie him up and hold him down. And I hope when they held him down, yes, I do. Yes, sometimes I do. I hope they put the boots to him. And you know what? Let me tell you what the bad part about this whole presentation is. It's bad that I have to do this in a church. In a church. Who would have thought 25, 30 years ago you'd have somebody talking about folk who are killing folk in a church? But here we are. Go ahead, you can play that if you don't mind. Be prepared, stay alive. Be prepared, stay alive. Why do we do this? Well, let's hold that thought. Charleston, South Carolina. Everybody knows about this. The man enters the church, worships and prays with the congregants, shoots and kills 9. This dude came, purposely sat next to the pastor. That man right there. Purposely sat next to him. Now, I mentioned this earlier today when I was talking at the house. We welcome people to worship with us. But what was different about this young man? He's a white man. Black church. This wasn't the first time he had come there. All right? And he looked probably innocent. He looked innocent. But he purposely sat next to the pastor so he could shoot him. Then what did the police do? Take him back to nope. Close to it. Took him down Burger King. Where does that happen? What world does that happen at? Our world. That's ridiculous. Okay? Sutherland Springs, Texas. What state did I say? Man enters church, wounds 22 and kills 26, including himself. He kills 26. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Everybody in here. He kills and wounds 22. All right? That was the largest. White Settlement, Texas. A man attends several church services. Right? Stands up during the service. He shoots 2 security guards. Then he is shot and killed by the head of the security team. What state was that in? Texas. What's right down the street? Gotcha. This guy comes to church, and he is not dressed in church attire. It's I think July or August, and he is in a long coat. Should that have maybe sparked? It did. So the security team had their eyes on him. But action is faster than reaction. He was able to pull out a sawed-off shotgun, shot and killed 2. But as we say in the Marine Corps, 1 shot, 1 kill. The guy was a marksmanship instructor who was the head of the security team. 1 shot, boom. I want you to do this. When I tell you to, I want you to close your eyes, and when I tell you to open them, open them. Okay? On 3, close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. All of that I just said happened in 6 seconds. The time you had your eyes closed. 6 seconds. So all this stuff that you see on TV, boom, 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 getting shot, boom, 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 that doesn't happen that way. You had your eyes closed for about 6 seconds. 3 people lay dead. The security guys and the shooter. Security guys, what do we talk about? Selfless service. If you choose to take on this role, anybody remember Mission Impossible? Yeah. What did they say? If you choose to take on this mission, we will deny all knowledge of you. If you choose to take on the mission. Houston, what state? Texas. A woman in a trench coat entered entered Smiley Face's church. Pastor Smiley Face, y'all know who that is, right? Joel Osteen. You would think that Joel Osteen would have some of the best security ever. Mega church. What is his membership? 40,000? 40,000. The lady, it wasn't a man. A lady comes in with her child. She has an AR-15. She got a long gun. She had a long coat on, but she had a long gun. All right? And she comes in and in a trench coat, and she was shot and killed by 2 off-duty officers who were working security there. But in the meantime, they shot the little boy, unfortunately, and he's going to have some deficits the rest of his life. Would you expect a lady to do that? If the lady came through it right now, you probably just look at her, say hi, and keep rolling. Not thinking of her as being a threat. But obviously, that can take place. Dallas, what state is that? Deadly shooting youth pastor after Easter service. It was just this past Easter. So, man and a lady went to the church. They got divorced. I guess the whole time the youth pastor was like, now's my chance. So he stepped on up to the plate, walked out on Easter service, and the ex-husband was right there in the parking lot of the what? What's right outside here? Parking lot of a church. Shoots and kills the youth pastor. He probably never expected that. Y'all better watch your relationships. Watch your relationships. Know who you're dealing with and know who they used to deal with. All right? Because if you tell me that, look, my ex crazy, all right, well, I'm crazy too. I'm out. A deuce, holla, holla. I ain't messing with you. You know, so you got to, there are people out here, a lot of these shootings are domestic related. Someone gets upset with somebody, and now they want to go and shoot them. All right? I don't understand that whole philosophy. If you're done with me, you're done with me. I'm done with you. Bye. Do you know how many people in this world? Come on now. How many people in this world? But you got to have that one? Shh. I got the wrong brother. Anyway. These are just some recap from 2018, 2022. There were 30 in 2018, 30 in 2019, 40 in 2020, 2021. Between 2018 and 2021, what percentage is that? From 30 to 61. What percentage? 100. 101 a little bit. Okay, that's a lot. What are some of the barriers? Why don't we have adequate security? Resources. Churches spend more time and resources and money preparing the choir and praise team than they do for security. Praise team, look, we got asked to go to Dallas at Buddy Bird's church. We ain't got the money, but look, we're going to raise the money. We need some new robes because, you know, we got to look good, and we got to make sure we practice about 4 or 5 times before we go. Isn't that how it happens? Absolutely. Last minute. Oftentimes, security is a last-minute add-on to most events. You will plan an event, You're playing the speaker. We bringing so-and-so in. We bringing the choir in. The last thing somebody says, well, what about security? If they say that at all. If they say it at all. A lot of times, they don't say it. But that's to me, in my mind, that's one of the first things you should think about. Do we have security? We got people in place? If we don't have that, then we're not having an event until we get that. Oversight. Church security is often overseen by untrained and ill-prepared individuals. Huh? Yeah. Am I right? You got this. You got this. Y'all don't know about Otis. You got Otis talking about he gonna be the security guy. Huh? Or you got this gonna be the security guy. Nothing wrong with that. But if you can't take care of yourself, what you gonna do for me? You need to be the eyes and ears. See something, say something. Your time has come and gone, sir. We appreciate you, but you're not the one that I'm gonna but my life in your hands. You can't get from here to that door. I mean, we laughing, but am I right? That's normally the one who volunteered for security, the one who's incapable. We don't want that. We have people in this church who are capable. I'm looking at some people who I know are capable of getting around. Young man here, big guy. Are you on the security team, right? You're the assistant? Absolutely. That's who I would get behind. You know what I'm saying? Right behind. I say, brother, he right over there. Come on, let's go get him. Go, you go first. Mindset. Church leaders often have the mindset that it would never happen at my church. Thus, a lack of preparation and foresight. We have this mentality that God will take care of us, and I believe you 100% that God will take care of us. We sing the song, what? Jesus be a fence all around me every day. I believe that he will. Absolutely. But if you got cancer, you're going to see a doctor. Yeah. Am I right? Yeah. Same way with security. You have security, you're going to get somebody to come in and help you. We have the mindset it would never happen. Every one of those instances I talked about, I guarantee them people did not come to church talking about today is going to be a shooting. Today somebody's going to get killed up in this church. Nobody thinks that. Right now, if somebody came in this church right now, what can we do? Speak to Jesus time. And police work, we say DRT. Dead right there. There's nothing to stop it. We don't have that mindset. God is protecting us. Amen? But he gives you common sense. My daddy used to say common sense ain't too common. And I believe that. So let's go around the room. I'm going to start up front because I know she has some security. Just give me a brief tonight. Is your church safe? We going around. We going to get to you. Watch yourself. Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Sir, what do you think? It's what? Come on. We family. What's stopping it? What's making it without danger right now? I ain't got nothing. I know the sister said she got something. All right. What do you think? Real quick. Is this church safe? You don't think it's safe, man? Young man. Pastor? Okay. Good. We're going to talk about that too. All right. So, let's talk about cameras real quick since you brought it up. Do cameras prevent crime? What do cameras do? Record it after fact. However, something this small here, because, just think about how many times in a day that you're recorded in America. You probably record it, what, 200 or 300 times a day. You don't even know it. You go to Walmart, you record it. Burlington, you record it. Costco, Sam's, that real good store they got over in Texas, HEB. Y'all been in there? Ooh, that's a store. Y'all ain't been to HEB? Y'all been to HEB? You need to go to HEB. But you record it everywhere you go. You go in the bank, you record it. Doesn't stop anything. People still rob banks. People will look up at the camera and wave at it. Right? And still rob the place. All right? But if something this small, as he said, if he's in the service and he sees somebody coming to threat, what could he possibly see that would make you lock the church down? He sees somebody walking in and he got a long gun. Oh, now he probably would, whoa. His first reaction would probably be, let me go see. Yes. All right, what's happening? Where the response probably should be, let me lock the door, everybody get down. Okay? Is your church safe? I want y'all to think about these things as we go through. My job here is not to solve all your problems, but my job is to get you to start thinking. And not just during this session, all the time, thinking, is your church safe? So let's talk about that. Does your church have a documented security plan?
No.
Okay. Why do you need one?
So you can rehearse, practice, or whatever, and so that it'll be a natural reaction instead of whatever.
Anybody else? Why do you need a documented security plan? That's a good answer.
Be on the same page.
Same as he said, yes. Y'all are missing the major reason. Because that's a good answer as well. However, let me tell you this. The Bible says do not sue your brother, right? If somebody came in that door and something happened right now, you're going to be calling up, do we sue him and how? Doom, 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 doom. All right? Everybody here going to have a lawsuit. But if you can show, yes, because right now, if something happened, we're going to sue the church, Cedar Grove. We're going to sue Southwest Region Conference. We're going to sue North American Division. We're going to sue Adventist Risk Management. And we're going to sue the General Conference. In that order. With them too. Everybody getting sued. But if I can come and say we had a documented security plan for liability reasons, because an active shooter comes in right now, there's only 3 things, and we're going to talk about that later, that people say that work, and we'll talk about those 3 things. You're not going to think about where's the book, where's the plan. You're not going to be thinking about that. But afterwards, to decrease your liability, you're still going to pay some money, but decrease your liability, we had a documented security plan. Does that make sense? Does your church have well-trained security team? We talked about it, armed versus unarmed. Should your church have an armed security component? Anybody? Yes. I'm hearing yes. I'm hearing yes. I'm hearing no. So let me tell you the pros and cons of each. The cons are you want to work at the market Monday through Friday, throwing groceries. And on Sabbath, you want to be the church police? I don't think I want you around me. You have not handled that weapon enough. You're not comfortable with that weapon. Monday through Friday, you throwing groceries. Now on Sabbath, you want to be the police? Absolutely not. Pressure bust pipes. If you get nervous and you have to pull that weapon out and you accidentally shoot him, and while you're trying to shoot him, you're in a whole world. You have no qualified immunity. What does that mean? Police have qualified immunity based on their training, based on everything else. You have none. 0. Are you two? What are you two? Husband and wife. Man, what's your name? Nicole. What's your name? Daniel. Nicole. Daniel come and say, baby, look, we got a nice car. We got a nice house. Beautiful, right? But on Sabbath, I'm going to play the police, all right, at church. Now, there's a risk if I do something to somebody that we're going to lose all this, but that's what I'm going to do. What you telling Daniel?
Oh, they're doing that.
There you go, girl. There you go. Ain't nobody in their right mind going to agree to that, or should, but we do have people that do that. in our churches. I don't understand it. You know how much liability you will have. You will probably go to jail if you cannot justify why you shot somebody. And television has just messed up that whole shooting people. Told you about my shooting earlier today. Let me tell you, it was reactionary only because I had been trained to do it. It's been a while since I've done any of that. I've been to the range, but it's been a while. I don't even know what I would do right now. You don't know what you would do either. You might freeze up. You might shoot everybody but the bad guy. All kind of stuff. That's armed versus unarmed. Unarmed, you just try to de-escalate. When is unarmed beneficial? If somebody comes in this door, walks up to the pastor to say something or message during the service, anybody in the church, excuse me, sir, can you come walk with me? Excuse me, sir. And a lot of times it's people with mental illness. So reasoning with them is not going to work. So there's sometimes when you have to just go hands-on and escort them politely out the church. And I'll show you how to do that where you are not seen as being harmful. I got a bad hand, but we're going to try to work it out. I'm going to show you a little bit. Daniel, you're going to be my, I'm going to say guinea pig. You're going to be my, I didn't say that. I did not say you're going to be the person going to help me. Not right now. Hold on. Does your church have effective communication ability? If something happened in the parking lot, can somebody in here know about it? What's the only way right now that you can know about it? Right now. Cell phone. That's it. You have no radio system. Am I correct in this church? Am I correct? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Pastor.
Correct. Right now. Same office. You met with them. They said to me, Pastor, you know exactly where 6.
You are the man and you are the man. Awesome. You got to have some effective communications. All right? If you don't, you dead in the water. Something happens outside, you got to be able to notify somebody in this church and use them. I was just telling them earlier today, there was a church $6,000 system they purchased, and I asked, I said, are you using them? No, they're just sitting in a room somewhere. What? They gave me that $6,000. I could have done something with it. Does your church have frequent fire safety? When was the last time you had a fire drill at your church? A few years ago. Something wrong with that, huh?
They got upset.
Well, we got a whole new regime, I think. How long you been here, Pastor? Huh? Okay, that was before him, all right? I'm sure. They can get upset all they want to be. I don't have a problem with people getting upset. It bothers you that we had a fire drill to help save lives? That's how you got to sell it.
And I had the fire department come here too.
Yeah, we're trying to save lives. I'm so sorry that you are upset about that, but we're trying to save lives. Now, fire drill, how do we do it? Or active shooter drill. What's the quickest way to do it? Easiest way to do it. Everybody comes in. You have to establish a rally point around your establishment. Where are 2 rally points? All right? As people come into church, you have a little piece of paper with a 1 or a 2 on it. I give you a 1, I give you 2. I give you 1, I give you 2. From the pulpit, we're having an active shooter fire drill today, or active threat or fire drill today. If you have a 1, you'll go over this way. If you have a 2, you'll go over that way. Simple as that. And when we say all clear, everybody come back into church. Do it at a time. Don't do it at a time when you got 2 people in the church. All right? Do it. And look, you're going to have the people that say, I got a bad hip. I got a bad knee. I don't want to go nowhere if this is a drill. It's required that you leave. Because if there was a fire, I guarantee you're going to be getting up out of here really quick. All right? You're going to find a way. You're going to get healed quickly. All right? So that's not an excuse. Now, what do we do about the old people? Or the people do we have any handicapped people that go here? Yes. So somebody, security team, has to say, hey, selfless service. Selfless service. I'm going to be the one to make sure that you get out. Selfless service. Okay? But you have to have that in place prior to. You don't want to be scrambling. You know, you two. Hey, I take sister so-and-so, you take brother so-and-so. Let's go. And then you help them out. You can't just leave them. Tell them they've been here long enough. All right, they're going to speak Jesus. All right, can't do that. All right? Can't do that. All right. What are some critical components? You have to prevent and prepare for invasion of an armed intruder. It's almost impossible to prevent. So let's go back to the armed versus unarmed. I always say, hire a deputy or a police officer to sit outside your church or sit inside church with a marked vehicle outside your church. There's a cost associated with that. I'm not sure what the going rate in Shreveport is. I imagine $35, $40 an hour, something like that. All right? For probably a 4-hour minimum. How much is that? Four times 40. $160. $160 a week. All right? For how long? Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. That's about right. Yeah. All right. I'm close. I've been here before. All right. So, is that worth your life? I'd say so. You got a budget for it, but I'd say so. So you ain't got to worry about it. You can come in here and worship in peace. Because the bad guy is looking for the soft target, not the hard target. He's looking for a shooting, not a shootout. Right? The guy who came to the church in Texas, and your presentation tomorrow. But the guy who came to the church a couple of times and shot, they recognized, made me forget my but anyway, the guy who came to church and he was shot, he was recognized, and they had trained someone to do that. We are not doing that. He was not prepared to get shot. He didn't know what hit him. You get, one shot, boom, and it was over. All right? So that's why I always say, if you can, get a deputy or police officer here. Ideally, your security team should be filled with trained individuals. Do we have any law enforcement officers go to your church that you know of? Do you have any paramedics? You have military. Perfect. Ask the military people to serve. Hey, can you serve on a security team? Emergency medical, we have any nurses or paramedics? Who's a nurse? Right here? You a nurse? You a nurse too? Medical assistant. You a nurse? I need to see you afterwards. I need you to rewrap this for me, okay? All right. Okay. Put you to work, yeah. Yes, indeed. All right. Secure your place of worship. So you need to look at the structural security of your place of worship. I walked around the building before I came in here. You all are doing well because you all do not have bushes and stuff around your building. There should be a 1-foot easement between the bushes and your building. Y'all don't have to worry. Y'all got somebody planting some little plants. They cute. Some little plants out inside. Who did that? You did that? Them your plants? They looking po. All right. It's that time of the year? Okay, you're right. You're right. They still looking po. Decisions must be made regarding convenience and safety. Do not give up your safety for convenience. Okay? What do I mean by that? The drummer says, I need to come through this door right here because it's close to my drums, so I'm going to use this door for in and out. You should have one way in, one way out of this church. Y'all have 2 in the back. At the end of service, you had 3. Designate one or the other. One way in, one way out. So you know if somebody comes in that door, if somebody sees somebody coming in that door, you know it's wrong. I can monitor that one versus trying to monitor 3. All right? Someone should always be in your lobby. Someone should always be looking at your parking lot when you have people here. When I pulled up this morning, I look at every church that I go to. I look at probably everything that I go to anyway because I'm just paranoid like that. I look at a restaurant. I look at the grocery store, whatever. When I pulled up this morning, there was nobody in the parking lot. And don't take this wrong. And it's just what are my observations. I was greeted at the door. I don't see the gentleman here. He was sitting next to me this morning. I saw him. He was at this door. There was a lady who I spoke to, I'm not sure she's here, and asked, how do I get to the pastor study? And she handed me off. And I asked that was you? Okay. And then I asked, yeah, what? Right, that was your son, okay. So I passed, yeah. So that did happen. I came in here, we had intercessory prayer. What's everybody doing intercessory prayer? Your eyes are closed and you're looking forward. All right, everybody was looking that way. The praise team, you two are tomorrow. The praise team is looking out. I'm sorry, praise team had their eyes closed. The gentleman and two ladies. Okay? But nobody was really paying attention to the audience. What is wrong with having someone stand right here or up here or right here doing intercessory prayer? Huh? And people say, oh, he didn't close his eyes doing prayer. You almost hit that car the other day and said, oh, Jesus, and your eyes wasn't closed. You're going to be all right. Have someone stand there. You are looking at that. That and the offering are some very suspect times for threats. Okay, hold your question. Write it down so you won't forget it. Let me get through this real quick. All right, those are vulnerable times because your eyes are closed, your heads are bowed. That's what we were taught to do, and you're looking that direction. So if I come to your church a couple times, I know at a certain time the pastor's going to get up. He's either going to make an appeal or he's going to have intercessory prayer. That's when I'm striking. Because y'all ain't looking. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? It's a shame I even got to think that way. Can entry points be limited? We talked about that. Late arrivals. Are they met and greeted, escorted? Seventh-day Adventists. We got the best thing going. Everybody who was in my session earlier, don't you answer this. What is the best thing going that Seventh-day Adventists have in a greeting? Happy Sabbath. We can say that to everybody. So you ain't got to fumble with your words. You ain't got to come off as a player. Happy Sabbath. You know, some women, he tried to holler at me. No, he said happy Sabbath to you. Nobody trying to holler at you. Go on and sit in the service. Happy Sabbath.
What up, bro?
Thank you. Eye contact. Happy Sabbath. Since I've been talking in here, I've made eye contact with everybody in here. Happy Sabbath. As a culture, we don't normally do the eye contact thing. Train your security team. Eye contact. How you doing? Happy Sabbath. I ain't got to like you. Happy Sabbath. What up? But that's what we have. Speak to everybody. Late arrivals. You come to church late. Speak to people. I read something the other day on Facebook. I'm part of a Seventh-day Adventist group. They said they went to a Seventh-day Adventist church and nobody spoke to them. No one spoke to them. That is horrible on so many levels. No one spoke. You go to a first-day church, everybody greeting you. That is a sad testimony when I hear stuff like that. Every church, speak to folk. You know, I see people who we do the greeting. You know, and you singing and everything, and then some people just sitting there. Now, I understand some people are introverts. That's fine. But, for the most part, get up and greet folk. How you doing? How you think it's going to be in heaven? You're going to be doing your own thing, they may do. No. So prepare for that. Anyway, I get off that horse, all right? Greet your late arrivals, all right? Vulnerabilities. So I was an elder at Caffin in New Orleans, and we had a white guy with a backpack, long hair, would come and sit on the back row. You know the hair on my head, that's when we used to sit up on the pulpit. Whenever that joker came to church, when he first started coming to our church, what do you think I did? I would go and sit right to the back door, right behind him. Right behind him. He go to the bathroom, whoop, I got to go too. We going to the bathroom, like two ladies going. We going to the bathroom. All right? But I'm watching now. Did he turn out to be a threat? No, he came every Sabbath. All he did was sit in the back. That's it. No, he was never a threat, never threatened anybody or whatever. But a white guy at Caffin Avenue, which is in the lower 9th Ward of New Orleans, was way suspect. Because he passed up about 5 white churches to get to that one. But he enjoyed the service. Rarely said anything to anybody. But if that happened today, would that raise somebody suspicion to at least keep an eye on him? We face some serious contradictions being Seventh-day Adventists. We want you to come. We embrace you. Come and worship with us. We say that, but do we really mean it? I hear all the time that Adventists only want to preach and speak and deal with Adventists. Well, at some point, you weren't an Adventist. Somebody took you in and embraced you. But then what comes with that? Now we're embracing people that we don't know nothing about. So there's a contradiction there. So that's why you still have to be diligent in who you allow all the time. I talked about it earlier today as well. All it takes is one time for you to come to my church and cause a disturbance. Now I'm telling you, you cannot come back to my church. All it takes is one time. Because it's just like domestic abuse. It escalates. First time he walks up there while the preacher preaching and does something crazy. Next time he'll tell him what he's going to do. We're not going to allow that. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming to our church. However, you need to find another place to worship. Or we're going to trespass you and have the police arrest you. That's a hard discussion to have, but it's necessary sometime. That's security. Mr. What's your name? That's it. That's to be your responsibility. All right? And, I call it, sometime when I do my leadership thing, I call it managerial courage. The hardest thing to do sometimes is to look someone in the eye and tell them something direct. All right? But you got to have that managerial courage to look them in the eye and say, hey, you messed up. Love you like a brother, but you messed up. Now you have to leave. All right? But that is going to be your responsibility as security lead. And this is what I would do. I would have him go first. That's just me. That's just me. Use what you got to get what you want. Post greeters are all interested. We talked about this. At your entrance, have a greeter there and have someone looking at your parking lot so people come. Wednesday night prayer meeting. Online for it. Awesome. If you ever have it back in here, Wednesday night prayer meeting, make sure that you have there's some security here as well. Praise team practice. Y'all have it in here? Do you have security or anybody watching? You probably just come in, lock the door, and lock everybody in. Okay? So that might be something you want to just make sure you're secure while you're in here. We talked about abnormal behaviors. A proper door should be locked. Lock your doors. So let me tell you what some of the best things that you can get. Very simple. You can go to Home Depot and you can get the Ring system. Anybody have it at the house? That's simple. You put a ring right at the front door at your two doors. Anybody who walks up here, it could populate on your phone while you're in here. So if someone says, oh, that's Sister So-and-so, she's supposed to be here. Okay, let me go open the door for her. That's a simple solution. You don't have to pay $500 for a camera, hook it up to the internet system, get an IP address and all that kind of stuff. It's a little ring. That's a simple, you put it on the door, and you can monitor who comes. Yes, but it's not being monitored as it should be, and you can have it on your phone. He has it on his tablet, and he has it back there, but you can have it, and 3 or 4 people, praise team leader can have it on her phone. You can have it. I think it's like 6 or 7 people that can have it. So that is very convenient versus, the tablet and all of that stuff. You don't need to look at all those views. You need to look at your entrances. So when the doors are locked, if someone comes late, you can open it up for them. That make sense? All right. Talked about abnormal behaviors, making sure your team knows about who you are monitoring during your service. Someone is doing something that's totally out of the box, you need to monitor them constantly. Let's go through this real quick. Lighting on the outside. Parking lots. How are parking lots lit at night? I'll be able to tell when I go out tonight. Nope. I'm hearing no. I hear not really. I'm seeing shaking heads. Okay, well, that's something that y'all might want to look at. Look at your lighting. So when you leave here tonight, this is a simple task. When you leave here tonight, just walk out and look and see. So it's adequate in your mind, but somebody over here said no. No, it don't go that way. It don't go that way, unfortunately. If especially for ladies, if ladies say that they don't feel comfortable or I don't feel comfortable because they might park in a certain section, if it's dark, you cannot say that. You have got to still address their concerns. Okay, outdoor spaces, we talked about that. Team members monitoring, parking lot, we talked about that. Monitoring, people that are coming in, monitored versus secured. All entrances monitored and secured. Emergency drills, we talked about that. There is a safety Sabbath every year that North American Division says that you should hold. That is the last Sabbath in March. The 5th Sabbath in March is a safety Sabbath. Bring a speaker in, bring a trainer in, bring a local law enforcement in. Networking, that's on my next one here. Network, let me get back to the security team. Have your local law enforcement come in and introduce yourself to them. Familiarize them with this. Have a public safety recognition Sabbath. And make your theme of your presentation, your sermon, something that has to do with safety. Invite them. Have them sit in the front row. Print up a little certificate. We like certificates. That say, thank you so much for your service, officer, whoever. Okay? Give that to them. Feed them. Feed them. Please, we like to eat. Feed them. As I said earlier, but when you feed them, give them some food, meat. They got some parents. Nothing out of can. Watch out. Watch out. You tell me you like donuts. See, there you go. Feed them something besides donuts. Or give them a gift card. Just give them a little something. It's just token of appreciation. Because next time the call goes out for this church, they're going to be susceptible to come a little quicker. Security team. We talked about that. Are they trained security team? Are they present? Do you have a plan? We talked about that. We do have a plan. Marked exits. Are all of your exits marked? That's marked. That's marked. One in the back, that's marked. And I guess that's just obvious. Is it marked? Just checking. Just checking. So, have you ever been to a place where you have a little drawing on the side with arrow? In schools, all schools have them. You are here, and it has a little arrow pointing how to get out of the building. That's just something that's a financially neutral. You can do it. Somebody could do it on a computer tonight and have them up there tomorrow morning if they wanted to. Hint, hint. Okay? And I do plan on coming back, y'all. All right? Me and the pastor have not talked about this, but we don't talk about it. Every church I visit, I always do a second visit because I like to see some progress. Have one or two things. Don't make my time here just, just cause. Yeah, waste of time, all right? Active shooter response, and we're almost done. I talked about the 3 things that have been identified to do in active shooter. Run, hide, or fight. So, where would you hide? Where would you hide if right now somebody came in here? Under the pews. He said bleachers. That's okay. Under the pews. And looking at your church, that's probably the only place you could.
Yeah, we know.
You could jump in that baptismal pool, absolutely. Yeah, some of y'all need. No, I'm just kidding. No, but then we had that baptismal pool. Did I say that? Did I say that? Out loud too. It just came on out. Baptismal pool. You're right. Run. So I would get 6'2", 215 pounds all the way under here if I had to hide. Trust me, I would. If somebody came in here shooting. If I had to run, you got to know where to run. You all right? You can run out those doors. Your church is very easy other than other churches. You got 1, 2, 3 places that you can run to get out. Run. Can't run, hide. The last thing, Daniel, come. Now, Daniel, I'm hurt. You bigger than me. You younger than me. Don't hurt me, okay? You got me. No, don't hurt me. Fight. How many people have been in a fight, a real show enough fight? I ain't talking about with your brother or your sister. I'm talking with somebody trying to take you out for real, for real. Really? Who was that? Your wife? No, who? I'm just kidding. Who was that? Okay. Run, hide, fight. Fight. There's no such thing as a fair fight. Nothing is fair about a fight. If Daniel hit me, all right, and now he can't dictate how I hit him back. He can't say, I didn't hit you that hard. Well, that was your fault, Daniel. You should have hit me harder because I'm coming with everything I got. My mentality is I'm going to survive whatever encounter that I have. 35 years in law enforcement, all right? They say be careful of old man and young man's game. because we done something, all right? I am not worried about how I hurt him. And it's a shame we got to talk about this in church. Yeah, you go ahead on. We're going to flip you in your casket, too. All right? Not you, Pastor, but I'm just saying. I am going to do everything in my power, all right, to incapacitate him. So, of course, men, we have all of our vulnerable spots. Even women, vulnerable spots. Everybody got a set of eyes. That sounds gruesome. All right? Men, they have their private parts. 100%. Your nose. Okay? If I come to him and he's here, people think they can fight. Don't do nothing. I'm not going to do nothing to you. People think they can fight. No, trust me. People think they can fight. I will tell you, most people can't fight past 30 seconds. They get winded. Most people, when they're fighting, are doing all this. You ever seen street fights? They're all on Facebook. I am going to be like Michael Jordan was when he came back and all he could do was a fadeaway turnaround. He had one move, kill people. I'm going to look at my threat. He's a little bigger than me. So my threat for him, I'm not going to do anything. Please don't do it. I'm hurt. Don't hurt me. Okay, thank you. All right. My threat for him, if there's a close encounter for him, my threat for him is going to be get as close as I can, as quick as I can, so I can immobilize him. So what does that mean for me? So for me, it's here. All right? And I'm going to try to drive his nose all the way up into his head. Because if I'm here, there's not much he can do. All right? He really can't punch me. If he does, it's not going to hurt. And if I'm here, I can come here, and now I'm going here. Okay? All right? Or if I get around here, for whatever reason, I'm coming here. All right? If I need to take him down, I can just take him down like this. If I need to lock out, I'm going to lock out on his neck. And then all I'm going to do is drop to the floor. His neck cannot take the force of 200 pounds falling with him. All right? It just can't. We talked about escorting people out. All right? If he's acting up, I'm not going to sit there, right, and fight with him and say, sir, you need to come with me. Now, all y'all see is me escorting and walking him out. But what you don't see is this. Okay, you're good. This is what you don't see. When he resists, is this. Pressure point. Is here. And there's not much that he can do. Now, if he I normally do it on my right side, okay, but I can't. If he continues to act crazy, all right, now I'm coming here, and I'm going to lock this here. If he continues to act crazy, now we're going to the ground, all right, with him, because you have control. But hopefully in your church, you won't have to do that, all right? But people say, no, he didn't hurt him. All he did was had his arm. But he is hurting, because right now there's not much that he could really do. And if he really act crazy, I got all this to work with, all right? I can come here. Whatever I want to do, I can come here, strikes, whatever, all right? Ladies, keys. Keys, all right? Put them between your fingers, all right? I'm giving them ideas, right? As you walk to your car, you got some stuff on here. As you walk to your car, put them, especially your car key, the big thick one like this, put it between your fingers. There you go, yeah. Put them between your fingers. Of your dominant hand. So now if I see this man coming and he goes to grab me, all right, now I'm just going here. All right? Up in his eye, and then I'm gonna get away from him. Now he's talking about, ooh, I was just coming to get the card. My bad. All right? But that's something, these are little simple things that you can do to help protect yourself. If someone comes in here and you're able to get him with a weapon, and you're able to get close enough with a weapon. It's kind of hard to do because I'm right-handed. But anyway, so yeah, we'll go this way. So if he has a weapon, you put your other arm. You're right-handed? Yes. Okay. So he has a weapon. I'm close, and I'm able to get there. Say you put your weapon out. And I'm able to get there. I'm going to come here and take that. I'm going to try my best. Now, he might be hitting me all in my head. He might be kicking me. I am not letting this go. All right? He can come with a knife, too. Absolutely. But right here, ain't a whole lot that this guy can do. And the gun could be pointed over. Now, if he had a gun, I'm twisting the gun. I'm twisting the gun, I'm yanking, and I'm coming out. All right? Then I'm going to give him some kicks, I'm going to give him some blows. These are, hold that question just a second. These are stuff that you can do. It ain't no such thing as a fair fight. These people are here to kill you. All right? Yeah, we in church, but they're here to kill you. So I am going to do first. I'm going to do everything I can to incapacitate him, to stop him from killing people. Does that make sense? It sounds harsh, all right? And I'm really a peaceful guy, believe it or not, until I'm not peaceful no more, all right? But those are some of the things that you just have to think about. The mentality is this. Give Dan your hand. You've been a good guy. Normally, if my hand was right, we'd do some more things. But anyway, here's the mentality you got to have. Let me tell you something real quick, then we shutting it down. I'm going to ask questions. I have questions. Hold that question. You and the lady. General Edward King, 1942. Against General MacArthur's, in World War II, against General MacArthur's orders, he surrendered a whole lot of troops, American and Filipino officers, soldiers. The Japanese emperor said, "We will take care of your people. We will not harm them." Well, they decided to march them across Bataan. All right? During that march, if you fell out, the Japanese had kill squads that would either run you over by a truck or bayonet and kill you if you fell out. If you fell out, just killing people. Killing. After they said, "We'll take care of your troops." They interviewed the troops who survived. And their mentality was, we just kept telling each other, don't give up. Just keep walking. Isn't that a simple way to survive? Don't give up. Just keep going. Don't give up. You can always put that in your spiritual life too. Don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep going. Just keep going. I will survive. I will. Isn't there a song out? I will survive.
All right, glory.
Yeah, watch yourself. All right? That's the mentality you have. I'm going to survive this. That's any encounter that you have. I'm going to survive this encounter. As being a police officer, that was my whole mentality. I'm going to survive. Yeah. I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. Y'all know what that means? Yeah. All right? That's the mentality. So if somebody comes in here and they mean no harm and something happens and I can justify why I did what I did, I'm good. All right? I don't have no problem trying to justify. I saw a threat and I acted on the threat. All right? I'd rather do that than to be laying up on a slab somewhere. Question.
Oh, actually, I was actually talking about demonstrating.
Absolutely not. Come on, Daniel. You a man. This indeed. I want to see this. Get him too quick. I couldn't get him today. Get him good.
Just on my resume.
Y'all need to make sure now. Racket, face that way. Okay. All right.
So he was showing you guys how you take it from he had to hold it like this right here, right? That's good, but it's bad. Anybody around gonna get shot. Great way to do it is step to the side at an angle like this. I did the dance. This foot comes back like that right there. I'm putting toward the air. You can pull to your hip. You see what I'm saying? When you pull from your hip, push forward. There you go. So I'm gonna have a self-defense class for most of the men. I don't want to teach none of you women that y'all might try to beat up on the pastor.
So, right. So, great, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, go ahead.
So remember, when you're trying to take a firearm from somebody, best to get away from them. Gun only hits you if you're in front of it. When you're taking it from them, try to keep it in the air, at the ground, away from 45. I'm gonna show y'all all that. I got you.
Yeah. So, and I guess one thing I was trying to have the Marine Corps. I try to have the Marine Corps way of teaching stuff. KISS, keep it simple, son.
Stupid.
Hey. Keep it simple, son. So the reason I showed him that is anybody could do that. What he did takes a little bit more training. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I was just trying to keep it basic so that anybody could do this. Any woman could do this 100% if they need to. All right, anybody can do that. Doing what he did, all right, stepping to the side and put that's going to take some doing, all right? Plus, you got to be, you know, there'll be a little bit something to do that, yeah.
Actually, it's 40 step at the 45. It's all about, if you do anything about Aikido and judo and stuff, most times when you step at a certain angle, your body weight gonna bring it. No matter how small you are, how big, the way you was showing, like down in the body. The way you was showing, if that person's stronger than her, they gotta do put his arm up. Ain't no momentum. Grab him, step that 45, you swing your body around.
Right. So he said he's going to give a class on that. All right, y'all make sure y'all take the class. All right, if that's what he wants to teach. So run, hide, fight, thank you. So run, hide, fight, that's the model that everybody has. So just keep that in mind. All right, that is, that's all that I have. And so, questions. Yes, ma'am, you had a question. As the ushers, right. Yeah, you need to tell somebody. You let them know. You need to let the security guy know. Or let the pastor know. Hey, look, you need to keep an eye on this person. Yeah, so just vigilant. Your security team, I didn't mention this. Make sure you pick someone on the security team who comes to church. What the old people say, that part. That part. All right, because you go on a security team, you come to church every third Sabbath, you ain't doing nobody no good. So make sure you have people that are dedicated for that. Here's my contact information. That's my time, folks. Here's my contact information. Like I said, I'm a security rep for the conference. If you have any issues that you might think you might just need some advice on, what direction you think you should take, some advice from someone at the conference, I'm available for that. They should have my email and my telephone number on there. I want to say thank y'all. So I'll close with this. I know during my presentation I use a lot of humor, and that's for a reason, because y'all be asleep right now. Because you know that vegetarian food get to waving on you, right? And you go to sleep. But I am dead serious, if you can't tell, about protecting people that are in our conference and the churches and schools that I do presentations from, okay? I hope that's your takeaway. I hope that you all stay diligent, and I hope that you can move some things forward when I leave. Y'all have been great all day. I do, and the administrator is going to grab that. I'm going to send that information to her, and she will have. There's a security plan that I put together that she can, and you all can cookbook it 100%. You all can trim it to however you want to do it or expand it, but it's a basic recipe on how to put a security plan together. Thank y'all so much. Y'all take care. Be safe. All right.
Can we tell Brother Scott thank you? Come on, everybody. We can do better than that. Thank you so much, sir, for letting something so technical be so fun. We're very, 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 very grateful. I can tell you now, when you come back, we're going to have walkie-talkies. I can tell you now, when you come back, we're going to have exit plans. I can tell you now, when you come back, we're going to be intentional. Young blood, no one can go through these doors. I know any of these doors. It's one way in, one way out. The Brother Jonah is going to get with you to set up the stuff on your tablet. Zach, get that stuff on your stuff too. The camera stuff. No one is going to be doing it. So we have some stuff that's automatically starting next week is going to be happening, and we're grateful for you pointing those things out. The rest of the stuff that's going to take time, they're going to get together and they're going to work on it. I'm just going to say it to you while he's here. You know, one of the things you can't do is threaten your pastor, because we will ask you not to come back. We will. I'm sorry? All right. Well, and that's something we're very, very, very serious about, because people are crazy these days. And I don't care how well we know you. I don't care how funny you are. I don't care. We're not going to take any of that stuff lightly. All right? Thank you. We appreciate you. We're grateful to you. And we really, 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 really appreciate you. Elder Clooney, want to come dismiss us?